Is Apple about to release its biggest and most powerful iPhone ever? Will AI finally transform how we use our smartphones? And could the next iPhone Pro Max actually replace your laptop? Well, grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and let's explore what could be the most revolutionary iPhone yet. Let's kick things off with what might be the most eye-catching rumor: size. Word on the street is that the iPhone 16 Pro Max could be Apple's biggest iPhone yet. We're talking about a potential 6.9-inch display, folks. That's a noticeable jump from the current 6.7-inch screen on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Now, before you start worrying about your pockets, early reports suggest the phone might only be about 0.19 inches taller and a mere 0.019 inches wider than its predecessor. So while it's definitely growing, it shouldn't feel like you're carrying a tablet around. This size increase isn't just about bragging rights. A bigger screen means more real estate for all those fancy new AI features Apple's cooking up. Speaking of which, Apple's never been one to jump on bandwagons without putting their own spin on things, and it looks like they're taking the same approach with AI. Enter Apple Intelligence, a suite of AI-powered features that could really set the iPhone 16 Pro Max apart. We're hearing whispers about an advanced new version of Siri. It's about time, right? Generative AI for photo editing and even ChatGPT integration. The iPhone 16 Pro Max with its beefed-up A18 Pro chip might be one of the few phones capable of handling these AI tasks like a champ. Imagine asking Siri to not just set a reminder, but to draft an email, summarize your notes from a meeting, or even help you brainstorm ideas for your next project. The possibilities are pretty exciting. Now let's talk cameras, because let's face it, that's a huge reason many of us upgrade our iPhones. The rumors here are looking pretty juicy. First up, we might be looking at a bigger main sensor. This could mean better low-light performance and overall image quality. But the real showstopper? There's talk of a massive upgrade to the ultra-wide camera, potentially jumping from 12 megapixels to a whopping 48 megapixels. That's a serious boost in detail for those sweeping landscape shots. The telephoto lens isn't getting left behind either. We're hearing it could have a 300mm focal length, more than double what we've got now. Imagine the zoom capabilities. Wildlife photographers and sports fans, this one's for you. Oh, and for all you selfie lovers out there, while we're not hearing about any major upgrades to the front-facing camera just yet, the potential for AI-enhanced photo editing could take your selfie game to the next level. All right, let's geek out for a minute about what's powering all this goodness. The iPhone 16 Pro Max is expected to rock the A18 Pro chip, and early benchmark leaks are, well, they're pretty mind-blowing. We're talking about a chip that could potentially outperform some of Apple's M-series processors found in MacBooks and iPads. That's desktop-class power in your pocket, folks. This extra oomph isn't just about bragging rights. It's what's going to enable all those fancy AI features we talked about earlier, plus ensure buttery smooth performance no matter what you throw at it. Gaming, video editing, multitasking, the A18 Pro should handle it all without breaking a sweat. Here's a fun tidbit. Apple might be adding a brand new button to the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Dubbed the Capture button, it's said to be a dedicated control for the camera. Think quick access to photo and video modes, maybe even some nifty focus or zoom functions. For those moments when you need to grab a shot fast, this could be a game changer. It's a small addition, but one that could make a big difference in how we use our iPhones day to day. Remember that bigger screen we mentioned? Well, it's not just about size. Rumor has it that Apple's working with some next-gen OLED tech that could boost brightness by up to 20%. Couple that with whispers of even slimmer bezels, we're talking potentially as thin as 1.15 millimeters, and you've got a recipe for a truly stunning visual experience. Movies, games, photos, everything should look absolutely gorgeous on this display. Now, I know what you're thinking. All these features sound great, but what about battery life? Well, good news. Despite all the upgrades, it looks like Apple's not skimping on power. The iPhone 16 Pro Max could be packing a larger 4,676 mAh battery, up from the current 4,422 mAh. That extra juice, combined with more efficient components, could mean this phone will easily last you through a busy day and then some. We're hearing Apple might even promise over 30 hours of battery life for video playback. That's a nice bump from the current 29 hours on the 15 Pro Max. When it comes to overall design, it seems Apple's not straying too far from what works. We're likely looking at the same general shape and materials we've come to know and love. That said, there are a few tweaks in the works. Besides the new capture button, we might see some changes to the wireless charging setup. There's talk of a thinner, MagSafe ring which could reduce bulk while improving the charging process. Color-wise, we're hearing about some interesting options. Space black and silver are likely to stick around, but there's buzz about a new rose color. Some are saying it might lean more towards bronze, which could be a really sleek look. Let's touch on a few more specs that could make the iPhone 16 Pro Max a powerhouse for years to come. First up, Wi-Fi 7 support. This next-gen Wi-Fi standard promises faster speeds and better performance in crowded network environments. It's not widely available yet, but when it rolls out, your iPhone will be ready. Storage-wise, we're expecting the base model to start at a generous 256 gigabytes. But here's where it gets really interesting. There's talk of a potential 2 terabyte option. That's an insane amount of storage for a smartphone. Perfect for pros who work with large files or anyone who never wants to worry about running out of space again. Of course, hardware is only part of the story. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will ship with iOS 18, which Apple just previewed at WWDC. We're looking at a more customizable home screen, redesigned apps, and a whole lot of AI integration. Siri's getting smarter. There are new writing and photo editing tools, and even some cool augmented reality features in the works. The best part, with all that power under the hood, the iPhone 16 Pro Max should be able to take full advantage of everything iOS 18 has to offer. All right, let's talk timing and pricing. While nothing's set in stone, Apple typically announces new iPhones in early to mid-September. If they stick to their usual pattern, we might be looking at a September 10th event, with pre-orders starting September 13th and the phones hitting stores on September 20th. As for price, well, brace yourselves. The iPhone 15 Pro Max saw a $100 price hike last year, so we're hoping Apple holds steady this time around. If that's the case, expect the iPhone 15 Pro Max to start at $1,199 for the base model. Yes, that's a lot of money for a phone, but remember, we're talking about a device that could potentially replace your camera, your computer for many tasks, and maybe even your gaming console. When you look at it that way, the value proposition starts to make a bit more sense. So there you have it, everything we know so far about the iPhone 16 Pro Max. From its potentially massive display to its AI-powered brains, souped-up cameras, and long-lasting battery, this phone is shaping up to be a true powerhouse. Of course, it's important to remember that at this stage, a lot of this is still rumor and speculation. Apple's famous for keeping things under wraps, and plans can change. But based on what we're hearing, the iPhone 16 Pro Max could be a game changer. What do you think? Are you excited about these potential upgrades? What features are you most looking forward to? Drop a comment below and let us know. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future tech coverage. We'll be keeping a close eye on all the iPhone 16 Pro Max news as it develops, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.